Welcome to Tia's Table, where there's always good food and good conversation. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey girl, I'm back. Welcome back to Tia's Table. I'm Tia, a certified group fitness instructor and behavior change specialist. I work with women, helping them develop healthier habits that they can use to create a healthy life in a low maintenance way. If you are someone in need of change or you're looking to start a fitness journey and you want to work with me, feel free to reach out to me at tiavfitness@gmail.com and I would love to set up a consultation call with you. So, welcome back to our podcast. I'm going to be so straight up with y'all. I had a meal in mind for our recipe of the month this month. And yesterday I tried to make it. Well, no. Okay, let me back up. I made it last month and it came out perfect. It was delicious. I got permission from the person that gave me the recipe to use it in the newsletter for the month of June. But yesterday I made it and I'm not sure what happened, but I kind of burnt half of it. And I don't normally burn food. So I got to ask her where I may have gone wrong and what happened with that. And, we'll feature that recipe in August when we come back from our summer break. So today, let's talk about things that we can put on the grill that are healthy and tasty, will give us that good cookout feeling that we're looking for, but won't leave us so super bloated and having that yucky food coma feeling, right? So when you go to cookouts or if you are hosting a cookout at your home, always either try to have healthy options available to the people that you're serving, or if you're going somewhere, always call ahead or text ahead and ask hey, can I bring whatever it is to throw on the grill, before you put the grill out. I find that most people are okay with saying yeah, sure, because the grill is already hot. So they don't mind, grilling your fish for you or your pizza or your veggies or your salmon or whatever. I would have it pre-prepped though and ready to go so that literally all you're doing is just placing it on the grill. And now, girl, if your family is anything like mine, typically the men are out there in charge of the grill, right? And they don't know. They know how to make hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks, ribs, and all the stuff that they know how to eat and they like to eat. But I don't know that I would try, unless he is a grill master, a certified grill master, girl. And that means that someone generations before us have knighted that man as someone who knows what he's doing. Girl, don't you leave your good fish or your good veggies out there for him to grill. You stay out there and you small talk and you chat up whoever is standing next to that grill until you know your food is going to come out okay. Because we don't want mushy vegetables. We don't want corn that's been laying on one side for too long. You don't want your pizza crust to be burnt. And you want your salmon perfectly cooked the way that you like it. So I say, look for things that you like to eat. Have them pre-seasoned, all wrapped in foil and ready to go. Ask whoever is in charge of the grill to grill it for you. If you're hosting cookouts and barbecues over the summer, definitely sprinkle some healthy options into your menu as well. Don't forget about that yummy salad we talked about last time, because it feeds a million people and it's so good for you. And it's just the right balance of salty and sweet. The feta cheese and the cranberries just work so well together with that Greek vinaigrette, that I would be hard pressed to find anyone who tastes that and is no. If they taste it and they don't like it, they're just hating on it because they know it's chickpeas and they know that it's good for them. Also, as I'm talking to you, I would not be mad at that, on some type of veggie burger, honestly. I could see myself making a Impossible Burger or what's our Beyond Burger, and using that as in place of slaw or something. It was really that good. Sometimes you got to get creative. And I know somebody's going to be girl, you're pushing it. But I could see that being very, very good on a burger with other burger toppings that would complement it. So, keep that in mind too. Hopefully your summer is full of so many yummy, delicious meals around the table that are healthy, light, very pleasing to your palate, and you're able to squeeze in those healthy meals when you can. And I hope you are also treating yourself over the summer to some really fantastic foods too. So yay for summer. Yay for easy to make and grill food that can be done in literally minutes. So that's what's on our table for the entire summer. And we will have a brand new family style meal when we return to school and work and like all the things in August. So moving right along, I felt like today would be a great time, with it being the last episode of the season and all, to kind of recap some of our favorite topics from this season, just to give out some friendly reminders as we coast into the summer. You know what? Summertime is literally like the NBA playoffs of the fitness world, right? Summer is what you have been practicing for all year long. This is where you show what you got. This is where you show up for yourself, and you embrace everything that your journey has brought you to up until this point. So we're going to review some of the things that we discussed to help us create our summer game plan, if you will. So when the podcast first started, we talked about BBLs and being burnt out, right? People love that conversation about BBLs. I mean, I think people are still talking about it now, but I think now it's in the reverse, and people are talking about how people are now getting skinny BBLs because I guess like the more slender, like 90s figure is coming back. Girl, I don't know. I can't keep up. And what really grinds my gears about any of this is that whatever is in style, people will try to like shift towards that. And the only problem with that is, well, number one, if you had a BBL the first go around, I don't know how that works with you getting a BBL for the new body shape that's in style. And then second of all, where does that leave the rest of us? For those of us who are just like winging it with what we got and trying to make the best of what we got, where does that leave us when body styles come and go? Because many of us don't have the body styles that are in style. Which is why I say, girl, eat as well as you can and work out and make the most of what you got, because those trends, those body trends, they come and go. And unless you're willing to lay down on that table, we just have to present our best selves to the world and love ourselves for it, because I feel like every couple of years, something else comes back around and people are saying now it's the skinny BBL. I don't know. Who else has heard that? I'm almost tempted to say which celebrity person people are accusing of having had this skinny BBL thing, but I don't want to do that because I don't think she did. I just think she's a small person. But anyway, girl, we started out talking about that and being burnt out, right? And how we can combat burnout by just trying to keep a little variety going in our workouts and in our meal plans, trying new foods. We talked about eating that 80-20 or 90-10 style of eating to help avoid any type of food guilt, right? Because if you're eating like a 80-20 or a 90-10, there's room in there for some snacks and some treats so that you don't feel like you're depriving yourself of every single last thing. And I hope over the summer, we do still hold on to that. We hold on to not going so completely off the rails and celebrating with food at every single occasion. And I know it's going to be hard because cookouts are what summers are made of. And I know it's hard to turn down a good hot dog or a good hamburger or your uncle's famous ribs or somebody's really good steak. Like, I know it's hard, but if you can still incorporate leafy greens into your summer menu, I think that's all the balance that anybody can hope for, right? Is if you are also eating a nice serving of veggies and fruits, along with some of these other things, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. But that's how we started out. Then we moved right into talking about generational health and creating a legacy of health for those that are coming behind us. We talked about seeing ourselves as matriarchs and really wanting to set an example for our children that eating well and working out is something that should just be a part of your everyday life. Like practicing a lifestyle that they can model you after they become adults themselves. It'll just be ingrained in them that working out and eating right is what we do. We drink water. Like we don't fill up on sugary beverages like 24/7. They'll know what it's like to be dehydrated because you'll point out to them when they keep asking for juice and soda. You'll say, well, have you had some water today? And then you'll explain to them like in that nice mommy voice, well, you should drink water, every so often. You got to split it up. You can't drink soda and juice all the time, right? At least that's what I tell my kids. And you'll get them started with practicing those healthier habits at such a young age that by the time that they are graduating from high school, even if they choose differently, they'll know what right looks like and what right feels like. And eventually they'll find their way back. So we want to make sure we're setting the foundation and we're passing along that generational health right along with all that generational wealth that everybody's talking about on Instagram. We also really got deep into a conversation about consistency and how to create realistic goals based on where we are and based on where we want to be. We talked about making small daily changes to the habits that we practice and the behaviors that we have that will ultimately lead up to big results. We got to remember that consistency is something that is developed over time, right? You got to start by gaining some momentum. So you start by saying you're going to work out and eat right every day this week. And you let that week turn into another week, until now you've got a month, right? You let that month turn into the month after it and the month after it until you've developed some really good discipline and you are a consistent person when it comes to working out and eating really well. But I think we discussed that what stops a lot of people is that after a few weeks, if they don't see results or changes on the scale right away, they get deterred. And then they start saying, well, I may as well eat this because I'm not losing any weight, or I'm doing all this working out and I'm not seeing any change. We got to remember that a lot of times the change that's taking place is taking place on the inside, and it might be working its way to the physical form. You just can't see it yet. So you got to trust the process, stay with it, and just know that eventually, if you continue to do the right things, you will see some type of change. And we also know one thing is for certain, girl, if you don't do nothing, ain't nothing gonna happen, right? Also, this is a great time for a friendly reminder that if you find that you are eating right and working out for like months and months and months and you legit don't see anything happening, girl, it might be time for you to go see your doctor and see what they might have to say about some of the changes that are not happening. So don't ever forget that too. Definitely get your doctor involved if you feel like you've been working out for a long time and you're not seeing any change. It'll be a good time for you to have a checkup, maybe have some lab work done and see if there might not be some type of underlying condition that could be leading to your stalled progress. So we're going to work on being consistent all summer. We're going to do it. And I know if you can be consistent over the summer, you can be consistent at any other time during the year, because summer has a lot of start and stop. Summer, you are traveling, you're hanging out more, you're getting just a lot of leisure time in. And if you're able to still, at the very least, get consistent workouts in all summer long, like you would have been killing it. And remember, we always try to practice at least 2 out of our 3 habits. So you want to at least be maybe like working out and staying properly hydrated, because I know we're going to eat. Like we're all going to do it. And we may as well just go ahead and accept that. Is that like, over the next 8 weeks, maybe, while my children are out of school. I know I'm going to be out. I know I'm going to be here, there, and everywhere. And I'm going to eat here, there, and everywhere. If it looks good, I might try it. Be open. Be open to realistically thinking about what your life looks like, and then let your habits kind of guide you from there. Because I know I might snack and eat and taste my way through summer. I might have my own little food and wine festival. Personal to me, of course, all summer long. But girl, I'm going to still drink this water and get these workouts in. Because come fall, my favorite season, I want to be able to, wear all my little fall outfits that people say we have. And we got them. And we're going to get to wear them outside this year. So I got to stay in shape all summer if I want to be ready for that. So, which is right in time for what we talked about next. We talked about different things that you can do all during the cooler winter months to show yourself some good self-care and some self-love. We talked about ways to date yourself, movie nights, retail therapy, going out to eat solo. Why do people sleep on that? I don't get it. I still don't understand why. And I saw a girl who I guess might be somewhat kind of famous actually on Twitter talking about how she wants to go to Red Lobster and Olive Garden, but she doesn't go because none of her friends want to go. Listen, if I wanted to go to Red Lobster and Olive Garden, which, by the way, I have not wanted to do that in quite some time, although I did go eat at Red Lobster, I think back in January, and it was actually really good. I remember leaving feeling like, dang, I had no idea Red Lobster had kind of revamped their whole situation. Anyway, she was talking about wanting to go to those places, but not going because she couldn't get a friend to go out to eat with her there. And I'm like, so girl, why can't you just go? You're grown. You don't need anybody to go with you to go out to eat. If you want a certain experience, you have to go and just have them. We got to get past feeling like we always need somebody to go do things with us. And if we don't have somebody with us, then that somehow takes away from our experience. Let me tell you, sometimes you go somewhere by yourself and your experience is far beyond anything that you could have ever imagined because it's the experience that you wanted. You don't have to compromise your experience for anybody else. You go when you want, you stay for however long you want, you leave when you want, and during that whole time, you are filling your mental space with things that you want. So you get to listen to a podcast or listen to music. Maybe you read a book, you flip through a magazine, you just people watch. Oh my gosh, get into it. I really feel like when we come back from the summer break, I'm going to do a whole campaign of going out to eat. I kind of tried to soft launch one on my Instagram stories, talking about having cocktails on patios until my children get out of school, which, by the way, is in 2 days. By the time y'all hear this, my children will be out of school for summer break. They get out of school May 27th. So I knew leading up to May 27th, I needed to get as much alone time as I could in there because I have already identified myself as a person who needs a certain amount of quiet, alone time to thrive. If I'm going to thrive in any other area of my life, I have got to have time that is absolutely filled with peace and quiet to myself. And I also have to be doing things that I want to do, whether that's take slow walks up and down the aisles of Hobby Lobby, or whether it's going and sitting somewhere and listening to live music. Whatever it is, I have to be able to do those things if I'm going to be great in any other area of my life. So I hope this summer people also carve out some time to enjoy things solo, get to know yourself and what you like to do, even if you are married, because girl, that's my story too. I'm married. And if I want to go do something, girl, he can either go or he can stay, but I'm going to go if it's what I want to do. Because it's important to me that I'm doing the things that I want to do. So don't let that deter you or stop you either. So we talked about self-love and how to get that self-care in. We've talked a lot about all of the different salads at all of the different restaurants. We don't have to go back through those, but I hope you keep those on your list this summer while you're going and eating out and having your own personal food festival over the next 2 months. We talked about how little changes really do mean a lot. So practicing these small, tiny little habits might seem like they're not important, but in the grand scheme of things, they are. I just got off a call with a woman this morning, and we talked about making the small change of moving her phone from her nightstand over to where she lays out her gym clothes. A small change like that really can create a big change in your life. If you practice those small changes enough, they will eventually snowball into bigger things that have an impact on your health, wellness, and fitness journey. So try to identify things that you are doing throughout your day that maybe you don't even notice. But if maybe you tweak them just a little bit, they would allow you to get some of those healthier habits in. And if you need help identifying those things, how you can make those changes or what those changes might look like for you, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at tiavfitness@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on Instagram at tiavfitness. And I will be more than happy to schedule a call with you to discuss ways that you might change some of your behaviors to live a healthier life. We also talked about the 3 C's: competing, comparing, and complaining. Don't compete, don't compare, don't complain. We know that comparison is truly the thief of joy. We know that if you are working out and doing all the things that you know make you feel really good, there's no need for you to look left, scroll right, look at anybody's news feed, look at anybody else's reel to see what they're doing. You got to be focused on your own journey while also congratulating someone else on theirs, but we got to just focus on ourselves. This is one of the only times in life where you get to have tunnel vision and be selfish and say like, no, girl, I'm only thinking about me right now, but I'm glad what's working for you. It's working for you. You look great. But right now I got to focus on myself, because people will do that, right? People will hear that you're starting to work out, that you're starting to eat different, that you are interested in making changes in your body, and they will info dump everything they know that has ever worked for them onto you. And I think that's great, because sometimes we learn things, right? But the other side of that is you'll never know what truly works for you if you turn on a dime every time somebody gives you a piece of advice, right? Yesterday I went to a bar class that we'll talk about more in the workout report, but after the bar class, a very nice lady, since I was new, she had never seen me in class before. She came up to me and talked to me, which I thought was very nice. And she was telling me about the benefits of like bar and Pilates. And she was telling me about all of these health food stores in the area and things that I could do if I wanted to, really like dive deeper into my health and wellness journey. And as she was talking, I was listening to a lot of what she was saying because, well, for number one, she was probably old enough to be like at least my mom, if not my grandma. So I wasn't going to be rude and be like, lady, I'm straight. Then also I'm at a place in my life where when people are talking to me about things that I already know, sometimes I just smile and nod and say yes, just so that the exchange can end quickly, So she was chatting. And I learned about a really cool thing that's in my area that I'm going to try that I'm not going to talk about right now. And I hate it when people do that, but I'm not going to talk about it right now because it's actually going to be featured in season 2 of the podcast. But had I cut her off, I would have never learned about that, right? So on the one hand, listening to friends is good. On the other hand, you got to pick and choose what you take from those conversations and just know that everything won't work for everybody, but you got to stick to one thing long enough to see if it's going to work for you. So keep that in mind when you're comparing what you're doing to what someone else is doing. And then also, let's make sure we're not comparing our bodies to other people too. Remember that 2 people can weigh the exact same thing and look completely different. So comparison just all the way around is no fun. So let's just stop doing it. Remember, we're not competing with anybody. This is not a race. Everybody is on their own journey, Everybody starts and stops at different times. Everyone's eating different things. Everyone is doing different workouts. And we just have to know that what we're doing is for us. And we can't really do anything about what other people are doing. So try not to compete with anybody either. And then lastly, don't complain. It doesn't burn calories. It's not helping us reach those goals any faster. So why even? Every time you think you're about to complain about something, instead, you should just fill it with a positive affirmation. Instead of complaining about what you're about to eat or being tired of what you're eating or doing, just say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I live such a healthy life. Oh my gosh, I feel so good when I'm done working out. Oh my gosh, it is such a blessing to be able to buy healthy food. Oh my gosh, it is so rewarding to be able to lift weights and move my body in the way that I do. Start switching out some of that complaining with some positive affirmations, and let's see if we cannot manifest the changes that we seek. Ooh, I love that. Somebody pass a collection plate. We also got really into discussing celebrities this season. So we talked about Miss Megan Good and how fabulous she is. We talked about Miss Lori Harvey and how great she looks. We talked about method shaming, and we decided as a community, as a sisterhood, we are no longer going to method shame. So again, don't be comparing what you would do to what somebody else is willing to do, because it's probably not the same thing. We also have to remember that these people that we follow on social media, they make their money off their bodies and what they look like. And now, well, I don't know about my energy level, but if I was getting paid top dollar to look a certain way, to be able to fit into certain things, I too might go to Pilates twice a day and eat a 1,200 calorie meal plan, which we already discussed was not even bad. It's actually not even a bad thing. But yeah, let's not method shame. Let's not method shame. Let's not talk about what so-and-so is doing in a negative way, because whatever she's doing, if it's working for her, you got to celebrate her. Never knock another woman's hustle. Whether that's the way she's losing weight, whether that's what she does for a living, whether that's the way she's raising her children, whether that's the way she fulfills her role and duties as a wife, whether that's anything she chooses to do. Don't knock that woman's hustle, because we don't know her life. I mean, we might know her and we might know bits and pieces of her life, but at the end of the day, we don't know what it's like to be her. And whatever she's doing, it must serve a purpose. So if someone's doing something and it's working for them, let it continue to work for them, and we're not going to complain about it. That was the third C. We have found ourselves at the end of season number 1, and I can't even believe it, because when I started this podcast, I didn't even know if people were going to like it. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about every month. I kind of felt like this was something that I knew I really wanted to do, but I didn't really know what the response was going to be, honestly. So I am very thankful for everyone who has listened to these episodes. I am thankful for each and every direct message that I get after episodes air and we chat and we talk. I'm so incredibly thankful for the people that actually hold me accountable for the stuff that I say up here. Like I talked last time about returning those shoes, and I got a message in my DMs like a couple days ago, and she was like, girl, did you return those shoes yet so you can get your money? And I was like, girl, it's on my list this week. And it is. The box is in my car. So see, small change. The box is in my car, and I'm going to take it. When I'm done with this, I'm going to take that box to the mail or the post office, and I'm going to mail it back to Nordstrom so they can give me my money back in 7 to 10 business days. Okay? Yeah, I just didn't know what was going to come of this, but I feel like it's been a great way for us to get to know each other better. It's been a great way for us to really create a strong sisterhood of women who are of like minds. We all want to live better, but we don't want to necessarily break the bank or our backs trying to do it. And that's me. Like, I want to be in shape. I want to eat well. I want to be properly hydrated. I want to get good sleep. I want to practice self-care. I want to try new things. And I want to be a strong woman without necessarily driving myself crazy to do it. So I'm so glad we can all relate to that and that we find this podcast to be a place where we can come together and have these conversations. We are going to talk a little bit about my current workout report and what I'll be doing all summer while we are on vacation. So I'm still going to be running. I'm wrapping up my first run program. I think this week is the last week for it. And then I'll take a running break of some sort, and I'm going to start a new program in August when the kids go back to school. You know, we talked so much about Lori Harvey and Pilates classes last time that I felt like I needed to take a Pilates class to kind of remind myself of what Pilates felt like. And oh my gosh, it felt amazing. The class that I went to, well, first of all, the instructor was really good. But then the class itself was just really good to my body. I felt so loose. I didn't feel like tight or tense, and my muscles were really sore before I went to class. But afterwards, I felt so good in my body. So if you do get a chance over the summer to take any type of Pilates class, I highly recommend giving it a shot. I enjoyed my class so much when I tried it a few days ago that I went back yesterday for their bar class. And I love bar. But let me tell you, this is a good way to kind of open up the conversation about all fitness classes not being created equal, and they are not the same, that doesn't mean that you try one class and you just abandon it altogether because you didn't like it. So you just say, I'm not going to work out. You say, oh, I really enjoy the benefits that this class gives me. I just need to find the class and the instructor that's a better fit for who I am, right? So I've taken bar classes for years. I took bar classes with Pure Barre Studio after I had my second baby, and they work great. Pure Barre has a more of like a pop vibe to it. So in their classes, you'll probably hear a lot of like Beyonce, Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa. Is that girl's name? I don't know, but I know she makes like pop music. But you'll hear stuff like that in those classes. So the classes are really upbeat. They have a lot of energy. They're fun. They're girly. So if you are into that kind of thing, you would love it. I was into it. I love the classes, and I would go all the time. And I saw really great results from going to those classes. When I taught my own bar class, my class was really upbeat. It was more on the pop side of things too. We danced. We did bar using the trampoline. We did strength and toning. It was a nice mix of a few different types of workouts so that you didn't feel like you were doing one thing for too long. And because of that, I think that's why that class did so well and people liked it. This class that I went to yesterday, and sometimes it's hard to go to other classes when you too are a fitness instructor, which is why I also don't tell people what I do. When I go to classes, if I'm asked what I do, not that I lie or make up anything, I just leave the fitness instructor part out because I don't want anybody to think that like, oh my God, she's going to be in here like, thinking about everything that I'm doing, because that's certainly not the case. I'm just here to enjoy myself like everybody else. But you guys, that class was really slow. But, since I've had time to think about it, I'm like, oh, well, she probably had to format that class to the majority of the people that are in there. And those are her regulars, right? So that means that class is for the people who show up at 12 o'clock on Mondays. So she has picked out music that she knows that they'll like and that they know and recognize. And she has paced the class to meet them at their fitness level. Totally get it. Which is how I know that class is not going to be for me, because the class was slow. I didn't know any of those songs she was playing. They were like hits from the 80s. And it wasn't like Isley Brothers or like Frankie Beverly and Mays or anything like that. It was like stuff I don't know. Like I couldn't even sing a song to you right now if I wanted to. Couldn't do it. It was almost like that music you would hear at the beach, right? It's like you never know those songs, but it's like easy listening. It was like that. Either way, I'm like, ooh, this class is not going to be for me because it's a slow pace. I don't know none of these songs. And I rarely ever find myself like looking down at my watch during a fitness class, but I found myself glancing down at my watch several times to see how many minutes were left, like how much longer is this? And that's always an indicator that this is not the class for me. It doesn't mean that bar classes as a whole are no longer for me. It just means that I've got to find somebody in my area that teaches a class that's more to my liking. So if you find that over the summer you're taking classes, you're trying things out, if you go to something and it doesn't seem like you enjoyed it all that much that first time, try to think about what it is that you didn't like and just know in the back of your mind, okay, well, my body feels really good, or I feel like I got a good workout. So if I didn't like that class or that gym or that studio, that just means I need to find someone else that teaches this exact same thing because I want the benefits, but I also want a better experience. And I feel like a lot of gyms, studios, instructors, they forget that piece, that when people pay to come see you, yes, they're paying for a workout, but people are also paying for an experience. So if you're a fitness instructor and you're listening to this, or if you own a gym or a studio or whatever, keep in mind, tell people that when people walk through the door, members, new people especially, they want to be greeted. They want someone smiling at them and saying hello and welcoming them to class. It never hurts for the instructor to kind of walk up to a new person and ask if they have any injuries or if they've ever taken the class before and kind of just do a soft introduction of themselves, letting them know what they can expect from class. Like all of those little touches mean a lot, especially to people who are new on their fitness journey. They want to feel welcome, like they belong. And that's honestly why a lot of women don't go to the gym, because they have gym anxiety about feeling like out of place. So, if you're in the industry, keep in mind a little bit of customer service, a little bit of customer love. It goes a long, long way. And people are more likely to come back to your classes when they feel like they were treated well while they were there. So yeah, that little tidbit, I'll hop down off that soapbox. But if you go somewhere and you don't love it immediately, just know that you can find what you're looking for somewhere else because there's classes out there for everybody. But yeah, that bar class just wasn't what I wanted from it. But I will continue to go to that studio for that Pilates class because it was phenomenal. It was great. And I feel like it was a good reminder of one of the classes that worked for me. So I'll continue to take that as often as I can over the summer, but definitely when the kids go back to school in August, I'll make that part of my regular routine. Maybe I'll go to Pilates every Friday morning and do like a wellness day on Fridays or something like that. I've got plenty of time to think about it. But yeah, don't forget, try some new classes over the summer if your schedule permits. Okay, so let's talk about a few random things before we start our summer break. So this summer, I plan to, of course, take the kids somewhere. I'm pretty sure we're going to go to the beach because that's what they like to do. I'm very excited for that. I'm also excited about doing some solo trips with my husband because I feel like those trips are the ones that really recharge me the most. When you go on vacation with your kids, and I know it's memes I hear that say this, but it's literally like doing the same thing just somewhere else. Maybe you don't have to cook and you don't have to clean because you're in a hotel or a resort or whatever, but it's literally the same thing. And none of the activities really cater to you. You cater all of that stuff to them, what their patience and their tolerance will allow, what they like to do, because you want to make sure you're creating memories for them and that they're having a good time. And we love that as moms. Like, we love to see everybody so happy and enjoying themselves. But girl, don't forget, if you got the PTO, use it. And go somewhere either on your own or with someone that you would like to travel with, and do some adult trips this summer so that you get a real opportunity to recharge, relax, rest, and do some of the things that you want to do. I really feel like that's what's missing for, like, when I talk to people, I really feel like that is the one common thing that everyone is missing. We're not doing enough of the things that we truly want to do. And because of that, everything feels like a chore. And I feel like if we're able to just start sliding more of the things that bring us joy into our everyday life, everything else won't seem, like so mundane and like aggravating. So hopefully that's something we can all work on over the summer. This Is Us is coming to an end, and it's all over Twitter. People are getting their Kleenex ready so they can cry. Can we talk about This Is Us and have an honest conversation about it? And this is my personal opinion. Hopefully we can still be friends after this. I started out watching This Is Us when it first came on, and I thought it was impeccable writing, great storytelling, amazing TV. It's a good drama, right? A good family drama. I was deep in it, just like everyone else. Somewhere maybe around season 4, I got tired of crying. I got worn out knowing every time I watch this show, I got to be prepared to cry. Like, I've got to have my emotions ready because it's going to make you cry. And if you don't cry, it's going to attempt to make you cry. And I got tired of that. Like, I got tired of crying over Rebecca and Jack and Sophie and Kevin and all of them. I got tired of it. I'm like, okay, just tell me the story without making me cry. Like, you can be a really good storyteller without making me cry. I got tired of that. So I kind of stopped watching it, but then I caught up, and now I'm caught all the way up to this current season. And I'm going to watch it like in my own time, probably, over the next couple of months. But I've already been seeing on Twitter where like every episode in this finale season, people are crying. And I'm just like, I can't. I'm all cried out. This Is Us. I don't want to do it. I feel like the world makes me cry enough. I don't want to watch TV where I'm supposed to be escaping and end up crying too. So, but it's a good TV show. And I am kind of sad to see it go. A part of me wanted This Is Us to be more like Modern Family and just be on TV for what felt like forever. But I think because of the way they tell stories and the nature of the show, it probably wouldn't be able to last that long. Because again, people don't want to cry that much. They don't want to be crying every Tuesday night. I mean, they've been doing it. I don't know why, but I had to give myself a break. Needless to say, the show is coming to an end, and it had a great run. So if you haven't seen This Is Us at all, girl, grab your tissues, your Kleenex, grab a good blanket, cozy on up on that couch. And if you are in the mood to cry, if you need to get a good cry out, that is the television show for you. It'll help you cry all summer long. And then you can have some sort of emancipation in August when the kids go back to school. Like the emancipation of Mimi, but different. Probably not as Mariah Carey-ish. Okay, so something else that's been all over my Twitter feed is Kourtney Kardashian marrying Travis Barker. And we know, as a general rule, I don't talk about those girls. But I gotta say, out of all of them, I feel like Kourtney was always the one that if I was gonna rock with one of them, it would have been Kourtney. Probably because Kourtney always kind of seemed like true to who she was, right? She didn't ever seem like really pressed about all that other stuff. So I feel like we can give Kourtney a couple minutes to talk about her finding the love of her life in her 40s and getting married and how good it is for her. Now, if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, good for you. If you need to be filled in a little bit, Kourtney was in a relationship with with the father of her kids for years. Like, if you go back and watch like the very first episode of their show and you watch it all the way up until now that they're on like a completely different network, he's been there the whole time. Throughout the whole time, he was a hot mess. He would have little peaks and valleys here and there, where he was trying to do right and, do what he was supposed to do. But for the most part, he was dragging that girl through the mud. And I think she got into her 40s and she was just like, no, that's not what we're doing anymore. I deserve better. Of course, by the time she declared that over her life, he now decides that he wants to do right, be better, be this stand-up guy. And now she don't want nothing to do with him. And he's been sad about it ever since, dating people who probably are fresh out of high school while doing so. Okay, so now she starts dating somebody who apparently she's been friends with for a very long time. They apparently live right around the corner from each other. He, I think, if I'm not mistaken, said that he moved into that neighborhood so that he could be closer to her, just like, I guess, as her friend, because he really just loved her and enjoyed her that much. Come on with it. Okay. And so, yeah, their friendship just blossomed into a regular relationship. Well, not regular relationship, but you know what I mean? They started dating. You know, they're in love. They got engaged. They're married. And while I have not watched their show in quite some time, I have to admit that I did watch a couple episodes of this current season so that I could see what everybody else was talking about. And I have to say that she does look so incredibly happy with him. And he looks just as happy with her. Like they seem very much so in love. And you really haven't seen that from her with her ex like ever. And so I say, good for you, Courtney, for living life on your own terms, girl, and not feeling like you had to stay with that man because y'all got all them kids together. And I don't know how many kids they have, but I feel like it's a lot. Is it 3? Is it 4? I don't know. But out of all the sisters, she was the one that was cranking them out. And I know she lives a very healthy lifestyle too. And that was part of her storyline. And I don't know. That's where my level of expertise with that family runs out. I don't know all the details, but I know she looks very much so in love now. So congratulations to her. And I hope she, really gets what she's looking for, as she has appeared to have completely changed her sense of style since falling in love with this man. And I don't know if I like it when girls do that. Like, why does dating him have to change how you dress? Like, it's cool for him to have his own aesthetic and for you to have your own, and then maybe y'all meet somewhere in the middle. But she went from being the way that she was into the way that she is, and they seem like complete opposites to me. Either way, I'm going to mind my own business because I'm going to do just that. Congratulations to that girl, that woman. Well, I think we can chat a little bit about what we can expect from season 2 of the podcast before we end our call today, because I have already planned out season 2 and I'm pretty excited about it. I think, without giving all of the things away, what you can expect from season 2, I think, is a nice, gradual step up from season 1. I feel like this season we talked a lot about how to be consistent, how to develop really good healthy habits, how to love on yourself, and how to be comfortable in your own skin and embrace where you are in your journey, knowing that you can be happy with where you are today while still looking to achieve some type of results. Like, all of that can be going on at the same time, and girl, it's okay, right? I feel like next season is all about taking a look at things in a different way. I think season 2 is about having more of an open mind. And I'm trying to figure out things to say without saying exactly what season 2 is about, because I do want it to be some element of surprise. I think season 2 will be about the things that we really have questions about and what we really talk to each other about when we are together, like in real life. And hopefully we'll all learn a lot in season 2. That's what I'm hoping, that we're all going to learn quite a bit, because that is my goal with the way those episodes are lined up, is that we get to laugh a lot, learn a lot, and make choices for ourselves based on the things that we learn. So I'm excited. Season 2 will start on August the 1st. So if you haven't necessarily heard all of the episodes that, we had this season, if you weren't in on those conversations, take this sometime over the summer and kind of listen to what you may have missed. Share this podcast with a friend. If you have enjoyed these conversations, share this podcast with a friend. I feel like at this point in our relationship, girl, it's okay for me to ask you to rate and review this podcast wherever it is you listen to podcasts. If it's 5 stars, of course. Now, if you're going to give me a 1 or something like that, girl, just slide into my DMs and give me that constructive criticism and that feedback 101, because that's what I would do for you. I would pull you off to the side. I wouldn't curse you out in front of everybody, So yes, hit me with 5 stars. Leave me a really good review. I'll continue to share what I'm eating every day on Instagram. I will also make sure that I'm better about responding to questions in my DMs. I try to be really good about that. But some days when the episodes first come out, I have to admit it's a little overwhelming. But I try my best to get back to everybody at least like within the same day so they don't get backed up. If you have any questions for me over the summer or any topic suggestions or anything like that, feel free to email me at tiavfitness@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on Instagram at tiavfitness. It has been such a pleasure getting to know you better here at Tia's Table. I can't even express how much joy I have gotten out of recording this podcast and doing this. So please know that your support means the absolute world to me, and I cannot wait for season 2. Remember, all summer long, while you're out, I know y'all gonna be seeing some amazing outfits. Y'all gonna be seeing all those maxi dresses. You're gonna be seeing all the nails and the hair. Remember, while you're out, to compliment somebody. Make her feel good about herself. Spread the joy and the love that you feel about yourself now. Spread it out to people that you see. Because remember, when you compliment another woman, you uplift the sisterhood as a whole. Remember, don't compete. Don't compare. Don't complain. What God has for you is for you. And I will talk to you, girl, bright and early on August 1st. Enjoy your summer. Don't let those kids drive you crazy and eat you out of house and home. I'm going to go take those shoes back to Nordstrom. Y'all have a good summer. I will talk to you in about 8 weeks. Yeah? Love you, girl. Bye.